What up, guys? This is Casey Israel again, and today we're gonna talk about wrestling. And today, I'm gonna give you my review and opinions of Tales of the Territory as season one right now. I'm not sure we're done with season one yet. Usually, about this many episodes, Vice is done usually. Uh, they just got done doing Portland. Uh, I hadn't done a review on. God, I had to see this word. I have a speech impediment, so it's real hard for me to pronounce stuff. And this is going to be a hard one. This is the week prior Polynesian Pro Wrestling. I think that's what it's called. Um, the one with High Chief Peter Maravilla and Leah Maravilla ran it. Um, Pretty much the grandparents to The Rock. Um, and grand father, I wouldn't say father, father and mother-in-law to Rocky Johnson, who's The Rock's father. So, High Chief Peter Maravilla has this is pretty much where the lineage of the Samoa wrestlers came from. I mean, it all kind of comes from High Chief. I mean, yeah, you have some lineage from the uh, Rocky Johnson's side. Did I say Rocky Maravilla? Because that's the Rock's uh, character. Rocky Johnson was the Rock's father. My bad. But I just realized that. But yeah, it's some lineage from the Rocky Johnson, but it's not as big time like as from High Chief's lineage. That's where we got people like the God. I'm trying to think of that tag team. Obviously you had The Rock. You got the Usos. You got Umaga. I'm pretty sure Rosie came from there too. Um, Roman Reigns. And then you got, was it Solo Sikoa, who is the brother of the Usos brothers. It's pretty much the third Uso. But, yeah, as the whole thing, it's cool. I mean, they had Harvey Wilpman on with the round table with Kevin Sullivan. Kevin Sullivan's great to hear stories from, and but then there was a couple guys I'd never heard of, and there was apparently some controversial stuff that happened in the later years. Of course, they had some stuff that could be uh, some of these wrestlers would embellish, where Billy Robinson was in a fight with, I guess, High Chief Peter Maravilla was saying, talking about how he was eating like a savage. And then, like Saul Monster says, anytime you hear someone pulls someone's eyeball out, is you take it with a grain of salt. Is very exaggerated. I'm not even sure how accurate that story is. There probably was a fight, but at one point they said uh, High Chief threw Billy Robinson through the a window. I mean, they had laws back there too. It's not like just recently some of these laws just started, but and they were saying, oh, that's why he had a crooked eye, but what Soul Monster said, he had that since he was 11 years old. He wasn't sure if it's a glass eye, but he always had a crooked eye since he was 11. So, uh, yeah, it was alright. It was cool. I understand about the lineage of that Polynesian pro wrestling. Sorry if I butchered it, but but I don't know. I felt like how Tales from the Territory started off with a bang with the Memphis story, and then you had the Andy Kaufman episode versus Andy Kaufman versus Jerry Lawler episode. That was good too. At first, I was not a big fan of the AWA episode, but rewatched it. It was better the second time around. And then it was just like slowly felt like it was like it wasn't as like watching Dark Side of the Ring. Like every episode felt great. Like I don't know. I know they're trying to Vice are trying to be get on people's good gracious after the third season. I guess we know from the plane ride from hell really burned a lot of bridges with not only a lot of wrestlers. I wouldn't doubt it burned a bridge with AWA. I mean AEW, and they were pretty much every episode was pretty much a hit piece against WWE. So I'm shocked WWE's letting them having a bunch of footage for these shows. And you know, at the time Jeff Jarrett was in there, he's talking with them, and he's at that time he was part of the WWE, and Jerry Lawler was in there, and he's still part of WWE. I don't. He's not part of the announcing crew. He's more like, I think he's on the pre-show and other stuff. But Jerry Lawler is pretty much like retired from from the booth. But I think they're trying to get more good gracious with WWE because why not? But I mean, and that's why you hadn't heard anything from Dark Side of the Ring, not a peep. They're like, oh no, it's not canceled, but sure hell doesn't seem like you guys doing anything. I mean, yeah, I mean, to me it's interesting with these Dark Side of the Ring episodes. I'm not saying these Tales from the Territory isn't any good, but I felt Dark Side of the Ring was more entertaining. But you gotta take all these episodes for a grain of salt. Like, I didn't not notice until there's some not accurate information on them. When with the plane ride from hell, they were saying Vince was and Linda was on there, but the whole crew was going buck ass wild. Like, why would they? I guarantee you, they would have not done that if Vince was on there. So, I believe he wasn't there, and there's several people saying he wasn't there. But that's beside the point. I felt like you gotta take a lot of these information with a grain of salt now. You can't take the information to heart. So if they're saying it's 100% fact, I hate to say it, it's not. I mean, there might be a lot of fact in there, but it's been proven a lot of that stuff wasn't. So, unlike even like Jake the Snake Roberts says, you're fired. No, when Vince, it was during the Ultimate Warrior uh, episode with when Ultimate Warrior was coming down the aisle, coming back at SummerSlam, where Vince stops him. It's now been proven that Vince suspended him, not fired. Even though Vince said in the Ultimate Warriors DVD that he fired him. Well, he fired him later on. He suspended him there, but and Jake Roberts saying, "Oh, you're going to get your championship run," but at that time, he only held the belt, the WWF belt, once, and he was already not the champion anymore when that happened. And Jake the Snake Roberts says that Vince told him, "You're the most unlucky man I ever met," but because that killed his WWF title run that he was supposed to get. But I mean, maybe if he had maybe he went through Ultimate Warrior, then he gets his WWF title run. But the way they're making it sound like it was supposed to get through Warrior, but that's beside the point. I'm trying to make a point that a lot of their information on Vice with these stories they tell, it's not accurate. Not 100% accurate. They'll have like a huge chunk of it is accurate. But I still think, to me, Dark Side of the Ring is more entertaining. I know there's some people don't like it, but and then I watch Portland like Wednesday. I usually wait until Wednesday to watch it because I can buy it on YouTube for $2. And it was like, it was okay. It was. I probably need to rewatch it. I just like I said, since the AWA episode, like I said, I went back and liked it, but then the next ones were like, I couldn't tell you anything that I could think of. I mean, Soul Monster can tell you everything because he's a bigger fan than I am. Two, he does his lot more research on this than, like, he'll go into, like, if someone gives their story, it has some outrageous claim. He's like, okay, if it's a crime, then let's look it up on the police report. Like the whole thing with the AWA with Ken Patera, where he went to McDonald's and saying it's a kid threw a 30-pound boulder through a window at McDonald's. But while he was there, and what they were saying was 10 feet with an arc. It's like, yeah, 30 pounds, I can understand. I mean, I could lift 30 pounds and throw it, but to get like 10 feet, I don't know, especially a good arc. Now, I believe that's got to be Ken Patera. I mean, it's a funny story, him still saying it wasn't him, but there's been proof in the police report and everything that it points to Ken Patera. And like, I highly suggest you guys check out Soul Monster's review on Tales from the Territory. He does this a hell of a lot better than. But this is just my opinion. It's just, I don't know. If I had to give the whole thing, the whole series for, let's say, Dark Side of the Ring, between 1 and 10, I give it an 8.5, maybe in close damn near 9 out of 10 because it was entertaining. And I'm talking about across the series with season 1, 2, and 3. And that's, you can, if you have Hulu, you can watch Dark Side of the Ring with all 3 seasons on Hulu right now. Tales from the Territory. It takes a while for them to add those episodes, by the way, on the Hulu. But I don't know. I'm pretty sure they're probably not there right now with Tales of the Territory on Hulu yet. You'll probably have to wait for that. You can get them cheaply on by episode. You can buy $2 for the episode for standard, or $3 for HD. I buy the $2 one, and it still looks just fine. It's not like it's all blotchy or anything, or it looks like out of focus. It looks pretty good, so I suggest get the $2 one, unless you need HD. It's still $3, not bad. And you can pick and choose which episode. I highly suggest you do that instead of, yeah, you can pirate through YouTube, but a lot of times it looks horrible from other people, and I can't believe how they can allow YouTube allows that. I mean, I've done some shadier, not shadier shit, but I've done some shady ways around copyrights, but having a full outright like an episode, that's just not right. And I don't feel like that's right with that or the movie, like a full series or something. I feel like that's not cool. Or you can go to the Vice. It's I think it's Vice TV. You could look that up on an app, and it's there too. But I think you might have to pay it. Or I think you get several free passes. But yeah, I give about 9 on the high end for Dark Side of the Ring. As Tales from the Territory, I give probably a 5.5. I think it's mediocre at best. I mean, well, no, I think it's okay at best. Mediocre to okay at best. And not saying it's horrible, it's just not great. I mean, some of them are pretty good. There's some episodes, like I would say, the first 2 episodes were pretty good. AWA episodes, okay, if you know what happened during AWA. In the other episodes, see, like I always advocate is the documentaries from WWE. I mean, like the one they were doing on DVDs, the ones they did for ECW, WCW, WCCW, AWA, and I'm thinking there might be a couple other ones now on. There might be some on the network now, but yeah, as territory Tales from the Territory right now, as if the season stops right now, as November 20th of 2022, I would say right now it's 5.5. If the season ends now, I don't know. Maybe there's a whole second half. I mean, I know they still got. I'm wondering if they'll talk about the WWF version. I'm wondering if they're gonna do WCCW. Maybe wonder if they're gonna do the Crockett's. Mid-South Wrestling. There's still several they can do. There's a ton of territories they still can do. I mean, I think the last real good one they had was the I'd even say God, Calgary Stampede episode was pretty good too. So with that, I might give an extra point to 6.5 now, as just because I just remember about that episode. So I'll give it just because of that. But nothing higher than that. I still highly suggest Dark Side of the Ring or the WWE documentaries over Tales for the Territory, at least season 1. So, thank you for listening to me ramble, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.